I think we should have more Xanes. Unfortunately, they don't really align with modern FE Vision. Why do you think they don't align with modern FE Vision? What, I mean, I guess I'm just curious, what is modern FE Vision in your perspective, then? Because I've definitely heard, like, you know, Aaron versus Samson doesn't align with modern FE Vision, and I agree with that, because it sort of goes antithetical to the gotta collect them all perfect playthrough idea that I think is very prevalent in modern FE. But I don't know what Xane would bring to the table that isn't modern. Because Xane's in 12, and, like, yes, 12 is a remake, but it has a lot of the modern sensibilities with, like, the avatar and the dating sim supports stuff, right? When I say dating sim supports, I mean specifically in that, like, hello, we have Arcanea supports, but oops, it's all Chris supports now, right? It's sort of a proto Three Houses, Fates, Awakening, emphasis on avatar supports moment. Most modern FE games feature customization, which clashes with how oddly unique Xane is. Oh, you mean like reclassing wouldn't really work with Xane? Also, Lolface, thank you for renewing your membership. Appreciate you. I just got the notification. Norn Jagan. Blow on my face to increase my affinity. Yeah, that's the sort of dating sim stuff I'm talking about. But, like, I don't know. I think Xane... Yes, reclassing would sort of make Xane, like, feel kind of redundant. But dancers exist in modern FE, right? And you just, like, the player has to choose whether they want to reclass them out or not. You know, Sea Doll Berserker, that sort of stuff. I don't know, it'd be funny to have, like, a Xane who could reclass into something stupid and dumb. Oh, we have a turn limit. I forgot we had a turn limit. Holy shit! Johan just says, fuck dragons. But yeah, I think I just disagree. I think I just disagree. With the idea that Xane couldn't exist in modern FE. I think instead it's that in some ways Xane feels redundant to a dancer. And they've chosen to make dancers the more standard. Which, in fairness, dancers are stronger and also easier to get a grasp on, right? I don't know, Xanes are cool. I can see why combat arts design and emblem rings and skill investment wouldn't work well with a Xane. I think they would work... Again, I gotta disagree with you. I think they would work better with a Xane than with, like, a dancer. You know, you have combat arts... You use a Xane, you copy the combat art. You copy the combat art by copying the user, right? But yeah, obviously Dancer, you can refresh them and they can use the combat art twice or whatever, but it would make Xane, you know, feel like you've got more options to copy and you can sort of spread these combat arts out. I also don't think emblem rings are modern design. I think those were one and done in Engage, you know, I don't think they're coming back. They're so tied to the world of Engage and sort of like the system of Engage. You know, we've got, oh, what's the thing in Fortune's Weave? It's not combat arts, it's called like flame something? The sort of special spells. We saw the lady summon a monster. Help me out. I don't remember. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. Fake fan. I agree with the idea that Xane is cool, but I disagree with the idea that it doesn't fit in modern sensibility. I think that's sometimes a thing people just say for, like, you know, modern design is the reason we can't have XYZ in Fire Emblem. And I'm guilty of it too sometimes. Gambits in 3 houses, Emblem Rings in Engage, Dragon Fanes in Fates. Yeah, there's like a different gimmick every game. But wouldn't that make... Yo! Enemy Dancer! I got fucked up. I didn't think Todd's AI would work. That's fucked up. I think it's less that it couldn't work and more I don't see them doing it. I mean, I don't see them doing it either, but that's not because of any sort of modern sensibilities or anything. Like, I legitimately think the reason I don't see them doing it is, just because having both a dancer and a Xane feels redundant. So long as they're including dancers, there's not a reason for them to include Xanes. They have a mime and skill emblem, so I'd prefer they keep their own skills, so you can have wacky BS with cracked stats. Oh, that would be an interesting approach. If you gave your Xane skills and they kept the skills. Yeah, no, that would be an interesting approach, I think. Kind of a neat idea. How are the Dragon Veins strong? I mean, it depends on the map, but typically a map is designed around, like, a specific Dragon Vein idea, right? Like, the Hinoka map's a good example of, like, just boosting either infantry or non-infantry movement to absurd degrees. I wouldn't say they're overwhelming strength central to the game's design philosophy like Gambits and Emblem Rings. I mean, I wouldn't say they're overwhelming strength, but I would say they're more central to the game's design philosophy than something like Gambits are. Gambits are just like another ability people get. Like, they don't really feel central to the design in any way, shape, or form. In the same way that, like, Emblem Rings and Dragon Veins, the map is sort of designed around, or the gameplay loop is designed around them, right? I haven't played 3 houses, so I meant Emblem Rings. I mean, I would say what you mean then. I hope that's not too rude, but I would say what you mean. I also disagree. I think it is a central design in that the maps are typically built around them. Like, when I think of iconic Dragon Vein maps, I think of stuff like Birthright's Camilla map, where she's activating Dragon Veins and constantly launching big barrages against you. Or Rev's boat map, where in order to actually traverse across the ice, you have to activate Dragon Veins to create pathways. Or Conquest's Hinoka map, where activating a Dragon Vein drastically changes the movement values of all the units on the map, depending on whether they're infantry or flyers. Or the Birthright map, where it's a lava map and you have to choose the correct Dragon Vein. If you choose the wrong one, you get lava-ized. You know, those sorts of things. Like, I think they don't seem in the same league as Emblem Rings. Agree to disagree, I guess, because I don't really... I can't really understand the argument that they're not in the same league as Emblem Rings. The game is literally designed around Dragon Veins at every possible opportunity. Like Emblem Rings, I'll be honest, the Emblem Rings, as much as they're a core part of the gameplay loop, I don't think the game is actually really designed with them in mind all that much. Because there's so many maps that are cheesable by, like, just using Lyn or Micaiah or something, right? I anything, and I know that, like, by saying anything slightly negative about Engage, I'm going to inevitably now get comments like, Engage ruined Fire Emblem, which, like, calm the fuck down with that. But I think if anything, Engage didn't really factor in the, emblem rings enough. Not every map has dragon veins. I think most of them do. Most maps have dragon veins, and if they don't have dragon veins, they've got some other gimmick, right? The big maps I can think of without dragon veins, and I'm counting enemy dragon veins too, stuff like, you know, Takumi draining the water or whatever. The biggest maps I can think of without dragon veins are like Conquest 11, actually all 3 Rainbow Sages, but then they each have their own gimmicks with how the stairs work and stuff, right? I think the power variance between Dragon Veins is irritatingly massive. Getting rid of Caltrops in Ninja Forest. Well, the thing about Ninja Forest is those Dragon Veins are a scam, right? Those Dragon Veins are a scam because they get rid of them for 1 turn and then they come back again. Those Dragon Veins are such a fucking scam. Bard Train? I mean, kind of? Oh my god, the crit. The crit might matter there. Shit, fucker! No more Mean Bean Machine! Melting ice makes the side objective impossible in the Ice Tribe? What? No, it doesn't. The ice melts for one turn. Yo, did we just get 1% crit? Y'all. Today is not my day. I wanted to know if it was possible. Bard trains tend to be underwhelming in practice. What do you mean bard trains tend to be underwhelming? I don't think bard trains... I think bard trains are incredibly strong. I take 15 minutes to move 2 frail units across the battlefield. Awesome, it's not worth the effort. Why are you using the bards for combat? Why are you using the bards for combat? What? Yeah, they're frail. They're utility units. You're moving them so that you can dance someone else across the battlefield. I don't understand how them being frail, like, changes the power of being able to dance someone from anywhere. It's basically the FE3 again staff. Dragon Veins are baked into the design of the map, so in my head, they are only as strong as the map design allows them to be. I can't see how they're overpowered. Something doesn't have to be overpowered to be a core part of the design, though. That's kind of what I've been saying this whole conversation. Is like they're a key part of Fates' design. Like, they're a core part of the design. Not that they are overpowered, although I do think, and I think this is a big Fates level up moment as well. I think you get better at Fates the better you are at using Dragon Veins specifically. Especially in Conquest. Conquest has the most sort of Dragon Vein gimmick maps. I don't know if that makes them overpowered, but they are, I think, a key part of, like, actually performing well in Fates. Technically, Birthright has more, but also Birthright. Birthright has a lot of maps where the Dragon Veins don't feel like a big part of the gimmick, though, right? Or you're not the one using them. Doesn't Birthright have the most, like, enemy-exclusive Dragon Veins? Or am I wrong about that? Clearly the best Dragon Vein in Fates is the Takame Vein you use yourself in turn 11 of chapter 10. Yeah, just the flex. But I think, like, a lot of the maps people struggle with. Ninja Cave, Hinoka. I guess Ryoma doesn't have Dragon Veins. But, like, Ninja Cave and Hinoka are maps that are commonly cited as, like, really hard conquest maps. It is... I mean, they're not trivial when you use Dragon Veins, but they get a lot more trivial. The Ice Tribe map as well, you said you can't complete the side objective if you melt the ice. But that's just not true. Like, that's just not true. I think that on that map, finding the correct time to use that Dragon Vein to melt the ice for like a key turn is a big, like, skill level up point. .64 speed, Jesus Christ. The most accurate weapon type at Triangle Advantage only has 37 hit on her. What the fuck is this, Olsen? Like, we've just won the game. I hope y'all know that. We've just won the game. Between Johan and Olsen, like, we're just not losing. Ever. Which is why I'm fine with playing through unit deaths. Brother Camilla map was so iconic, they brought it back in Engage twice. Wait, twice? What's the second Birthright Camilla map? No rallies. What? No rally? I don't think I've ever finished Lunatic Ninja Cape and actually kept Saizo locked in the box. Oh, I didn't mean... When I said, like, using the Dragon Veins on that map helps to, you know, beat it more easily, I didn't mean specifically locking Saizo in the box, although that is a popular strategy. I think a pretty cool one. I meant just, like, closing off pathways so that you can reach, so that, like, enemies can't reach you from certain tiles or stuff like that. Sorry if that was unclear. I use them a ton so he never stays back there. Yeah. I think you get, like, speed wings out of it, right? It's also, like... It's one of those things like rescue chaining endgame where it's not the only way to accomplish the task. It's just sort of the most popular one. I think on my stream series, we kept Saizo alive without locking him in jail, but I might be wrong about that. We might have locked him in jail. I don't remember. One speed wing. Hey, you know, I saw on Reddit that speed is the best stat in Fire Emblem, so one speed wing must be worth it, right? Smiley face. I always keep him alive for the speed wing, but I don't see how it's better to keep him locked back there than leverage the Dragon Veins. It's not. It's not. It is if you, like, specifically want the speed wing and don't, like, feel like you wouldn't be able to keep him alive otherwise. But I personally think leveraging the Dragon Veins is better. Like, if you have to choose between the two... That's the one I would choose. One speed wing in the game where speed is the easiest stat to fix. Yeah, not just like, is it the easiest stat to fix in Fates, but Conquest specifically... I would say speed is one of the easiest stats to fix there, too. Well, no, it's even easier in Birthright because you get, like, 8,000 Pegasuses and Samurai pair-ups and, Yada yada yada. I usually keep Saizo alive by body blocking his movement. Yeah, that's my preferred strategy. Meals, pair-ups, tonics, yeah. Inspiring song. I always forget about inspiring song. Don't call us goons. You're the goon squad. What's up, goon squad? It's Danny Doyle here. Welcome back to another crazy video where I rank all of the Johan epic moments. Moment number 10, when the javelin broke. That was crazy.